Hey guys, what is going on? This is the GTA Wise guy and welcome back to another Need for Speed Payback video. Now in this one what we're going to be doing is not only customization, but we're going to be doing some performance upgrades, how to get it to 1000 horsepower as quickly as possible, using as few tokens as possible as well. And then we'll also go on to seeing what it's like actual gameplay wise and what it's best for in terms of racing. Now I did do a race build, it comes as level 254, you can push it up to 399 and it doesn't take too many part tokens to do it. Now, there's tons of modification parts for this. It is the 2017 GTR, so I was worried that they were going to take all the 2015 GTR stuff away, but you can make it look like the 2015 GTR if you want to. There's tons of kits for it. You've got Virus, Overtake, Liberty Walk, Rocket Bunny. There's even the Pandem Rocket Bunny kit as well. But the problem that I found with this car was when you're applying different bumpers and stuff and different fenders, it would lock some of the stuff, so you'd have to go back and like remove the fender, and to remove the fender, you'd have to remove the bumper. So it was kind of annoying to try and preview all that stuff. It would probably be handy if it goes, say for example, if you're previewing that part, instead of it just saying it's restricted, it just like temporarily removes the fender and stuff to say, look, this is what it looks like with so and so fender. Now it does kind of do that with the part sets, for example the Ben Soper kit, but that's only for the Ben Soper kit, and that's only really because it changes a lot of like the chassis components and stuff, so it changes like the overall shape of the car, so you can't just swap out the parts. But even still, it would still be good to have a part set for the Pandem and all the other kits like that as well, because I remember on 2015 you were sort of restricted a lot of the time to full body kits, but still just previewing those full body kits would be a lot handier than having to buy different parts and take different parts off to view the full kit. Now, I can still make it look like the old R35 if you want to. It doesn't have to be the 2017 R35. So you can also put a Ben Soper kit on it as well. You can see the slats there in the back for the chassis mount wing on the Ben Soper kit, which is pretty cool. Now, that doesn't mean you're restricted to only having the chassis mount wing just for the Ben Soper back bumper. Now, you can see that we're still able to put that chassis mount wing onto that bumper, even though it doesn't have the cutouts for the actual chassis mount wing to go through. Now, I know a lot of developers that would try and stray away from having parts that merge through each other. It would probably make them wince, especially the vehicle artists and stuff. But the fact that they're still putting that in there, even though it doesn't look particularly right, because they know that people will want that chassis mount wing regardless of having that Ben Soper back bumper. Now, I ended up going for the full Pandem kit, but it felt like heresy to have a Liberty Walk Swan wing and the rest being Rocket Bunny stuff, so I decided to go for a full Liberty Walk kit. Obviously you could pull it off, but I just didn't like the back of the Pandem kit as well either. I just like the full Liberty Walk kit. And to top it off, I added some street mirrors, some smoked rear lights, and also went back to the old GTR back bumper rather than the 2017 one, and of course thrown on a Liberty Walk diffuser. Now, if you don't like any of the branded diffusers, Ghost Games have thrown in their own original Need for Speed generic ones, which are back from 2015, and some new ones in there as well. Also, the exhaust, I don't like any of them, so I just left it stock. I would have wished that there'd be some different exhausts like the actual GTR ones, so maybe just like they've just got a black texture on, blacked out, or the titanium like the Army Tricks exhaust. Now, even if they don't have a brand deal with Army Tricks, you literally could have used the old exhaust, put a titanium texture, burnt tip over it, and then just branded it as Need for Speed. But anyway, moving on to the wheels, there was quite a few that I wanted to throw on, like some of the Workmeister wheels, but you could see the profile of them was really bad. Even at the max, like they were really like high profile fat tires, and I just wanted some lower profile ones, so I ended up going for some Road to Foam ones. I'd rather have had the Workmeister ones, which is kind of annoying. Hopefully Ghost will fix that in a patch as well, so that we can have some lower profile tires on the GTR. I did have them chrome to start off with, but later on I decided to go with a blue color scheme on the overall car. And then on the actual wheels as well, I decided to go for some matte black wheels. And then also on the outside rim, I decided to go for a blue to match the color of the car, more of like a metallic glossy blue somewhere in between. Now, I went and made a custom wrap for this. If you want to see how it was made, I'll leave a time lapse at the end. It's just quite a simple one, literally a rip-off of Liberty Walk. Obviously, it's got the Imperial flag on there. It doesn't look great using the shapes that I used, but there was one sort of thing where there was loads of lines that you could have used for the Imperial flag, but it was too many. It didn't look exactly like the flag. So there's a little gradient that goes over it as well, so it fades out at the bottom, and we've got that Imagine All People Living Life in Peace on there as well. Now, I would have had the text smaller to actually suit the size of the text that's on the cars in real life, but with the actual text editor within the wrap editor, it doesn't actually work that well, and you can't make it that small. Anyway, with the actual performance to get it to 1000 horsepower, it doesn't take too much. I managed to do it with about 30 spins, like 30 tokens. Now, something to point out with performance, it can be quite intuitive. It literally just looks like you're doing a wheel spin like on a slot machine. It's not like that. You can be quite tactical with how you rank up your car and what you're going to use it for. So I'll do an entirely separate video on that. So I was literally just spinning on speed because I wanted to get as much acceleration as possible, punch up those horsepower numbers, and by the time I was level 361 with all the acceleration perks, I managed to get it over 1000 horsepower. Now, if you were purely getting it to 399, you'd literally just spin on each part and then just keep ranking up the lower level parts first, and then I ended up getting all level 18 stuff with an Americana brand bonus. Probably not the perfect brand bonus to go for. Americana is more for like off-road cars because it's got the airtime bonus. I could have gone for one that had acceleration and speed, or speed and nitrous probably would have been better. Now, online as well on Speedless, it is a bit lagging, it is still a bit broken. Hopefully Ghosts are going to fix that soon. But with a 1000 horsepower level 399 GTR, it wasn't too quick on the corners. The R34 was actually managing to keep up with it. Even an S2K started to creep up on me. Now, with my actual tuning, I did have it set up for top speed just in case I ran into like a Regera or something, and I thought if I'm quite skillful enough on the corners, I can sacrifice that acceleration, which is why the R34 was keeping up with me here as well on the S2K. Now, I reckon if I set the tuning to acceleration, I probably would have been able to get away much quicker. You can see my acceleration out of those corners isn't great, but because I set it to top speed, when I finally got onto the straight, you'll see it's Gamer, who is the guy behind me, actually falling behind, and I'm managing to get away much quicker, and the top speed gets to around 230. Now, on this race, I was actually against the Regera. Now, Regera seems to be quite OP in Speedless. The guy in front of me didn't seem too competent with the car. He was a bit all over the place when it comes to the corners. I only managed to catch him at this point because he had actually crashed. Now, obviously, we're on some corners in the city. I'm managing to catch the Regera just a little bit, but that guy driving seems to be a little all over the place, so it's probably not a fair test for the GTR versus the Regera. Managed to get neck and neck with the guy, and then we got a little too close and it seemed like a bit of desync. Looked like I probably pushed him into the wall there. So that was the only way I really won that race. So I did actually beat a Regera, but probably not on fair terms. The guy racing wasn't that great, and there was a bit of lag involved there as well. Now, when it comes to actually tuning the car as well, if you've got stability on it, is actually really fun to play around with on the highway as well. I wouldn't use it for races. It doesn't match up with cars that are drifting. You'll just carry tons of speed coming out of corners and that if you're drifting over using stability control. I'll probably do another video on that as well, explaining how the performance works and all that. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much all for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this 1000 horsepower build. I'll leave a time lapse now of the wrap editor where I was actually creating this wrap. Nothing too special, but hopefully I'll have some better stuff on some future builds for you guys as well. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all for this video. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let me know what build you'd like to see next down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to get right on it. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.